women constitutes around 50% of the population in India, and her role in the judiciary, which is one of the important pillar in democracy, plays a vital role in India. Hello everyone, this is Prathyusha. Welcome to Law Excellence. In this session, we're going to discuss about what is the analysis and the trend that has been observed in the women in the judiciary according to the Indian Judiciary Report 2025. Now let's see what is the data that has been telling. Now in this, they have taken different sectors, data has been taken and they have been concluded with the statements that the total judiciary, when we see the total judges, where we are taking about the High Court judges and the subordinate judges, there are around 21,285 judges have been present. And when we take in the per population phenomena, we have seen that there are only 15 judges are being present per million population. So our count is basically very less compared to the developed nations that are being present. Then the vacancy rate, though there is a fulfillment of this judges has been observed in the Supreme Court, still we have seen that there is a vacancy is being observed in the High Court. Around 33% of the vacancy is being present in the High Courts. Second, when we see the vacancy rate in the subordinate courts, it is around 21% where district and the other courts have been there. And women, now this is very much important where it has been highlighted in this report, where in the women judges have raised from the 2017, but yet it is very much less. For example, when we see in the High Court, there are only 14% has been present, and almost only 1 out of 25 High Courts, the Chief Justice of the High Court has been a woman in nature. Rest of all, we have the men have been present. And in the appointments also, recently there were 192 new appointments were be seen, where out of it only 17.5% were women appointments, and the better rate was being observed in the district and the subordinate court. The women contribution or the women participation is around 38%. Now it is stating large amount of disparities has been observed in the judges related to the High Court and related to the Supreme Court. And you can see the Chief Justice of India, a woman will be appointed in the 2027. Now this is a large disparities, large gaps have been created regarding the women in the higher level of the judiciary. Now let's see what are the reasons for lower representation of the women in the judiciary. So the first one we can contribute towards the structural barriers. First thing, there is no formal reservation is being present in the higher levels of the judiciary sector. Second, collegium system that is being responsible for the appointment of the judges of the High Court and the Supreme Court does not mandate any gender diversity. Gender diversity is not mandated in this collegium system. And the third one, there is a lack of transparent promotions pathways from subordinate judiciary towards the higher level of the judiciary present. And the second one, major one we are having is a pipeline problem. Now you can see the lower court is having more amount of women judiciary is being present, 38% is being present. But as we are increasing towards the High Court, it is for 14%, then it is even more less in the Supreme Court. Now this is what there is large amount of gap is being created, pipeline gaps are being created. And there is large amount of career breaks are being observed with the female judiciary regarding the family responsibilities and different sectors. Now next we'll see the third problem that has been associated here. We have socio-cultural norms. This is the traditional problems that I've been having. One we have is patriarchal attitudes and gender stereotype process. No, generally there is large amount of stereotypic thinking that all the force or all the important decision making power roles are to be given to the men, whereas the soft jobs are being given to the women. Now this type of gender stereotypes has been existing, and also we have large amount of patriarchal society influence is also been observed in the judiciary. Then we are also having a problem with posting in the remote areas deter the women from joining the judiciary. Then lastly, we have institutional factors where there is a less amount of gender-friendly infrastructure. For example, we have crèches or the restrooms. Now, this available for the women separately is still lagging behind in the district courts or the subordinate courts that have been there. Then there's absence of mentoring. the role model figures present in the judiciary, and also the leadership development in the programs. Now, these are the different problems that have been persisting regarding the low representation of the women in the judiciary. Now, let's see why women should be present in the judiciary. Women should be represented properly in the judiciary. First thing, it enhances the sensitivity in the gender related cases. For example, we have the sexual violence, family related cases, the law or the property disputes. Now, whenever the woman is being headed, now these problems are being analyzed in different perspective, not from the male perspective, but also the woman perspective will be rolling ahead, and the orders that have been passed by the judges will be having a different analysis. Different gender sensitization will be observed in these cases. And second, it can build trust in the judicial institution and reflecting social diversity. Now, diversity, women has been having half population. Now, they have been represented in the judiciary also. Then it also brings a balanced perspective in the constitution and the policy implementation. And they also act as role models, encouraging more amount of women to come into the legal profession. Now, these are the reasons why we will be having the women representation should be present in the judiciary. Now, let's see what can be done to increase this participation, increase the women participation in the judiciary. First, we need to have the policy reforms. Now, when we see we should introduce gender-based reservations or target reservations should be present in the higher level, though they have been present in the district level, subordinate level. Now, this type of reservation should also be present in the high courts. Reservation should also be present in the Supreme Court. Second, making gender diversity a formal criterion in the collegium system. Collegium system also should give the gender diversity should be present. Then filling the vacancies in the time bound. Now, just now we have seen the large amount of vacancies are still be present in the high court, still be present in the district subordinate court, and we also had been seen in the current affairs stating that the large amount of cases have been pending. Now, this also goes under the policy reforms. Then second, we can talk about the institutional reforms. Now, this is where we're trying to have the transparent promotion pathways. Generally, why a judge has been promoted from the High Court to Supreme Court or Supreme Court towards the Chief Justice. Now, this has been not very transparent to the public. Now, collegium system, one important drawback we have is the transparency. Now, in this one, if the transparency is being enhanced, we can give a background why the women can be increasing in the judiciary. Then we should have gender-friendly infrastructure, the toilets, the restrooms, and etc. should be properly built in the High Courts, in the district courts, and the subordinate courts that are being present. And we should have a proper mentorship and the leadership program should be present from the government side or the legal aid side that has been there. Or else we should have the social and the educational measures should be taken up. First thing is that we have to encourage the women in joining the bar councils. The awareness, the women empowerment regarding the judiciary and the law should be increased in the people. Second, public campaigns to counter the patriarchal biasness. Now, we have to not go with the gender stereotype saying that the dominant positions or the decision-making power is for the men, whereas the soft powers is for the women. Soft positions, professions are for the women. Now, this type of the gender-based patriarchal norms should be broken down with the awareness. Then we should have flexible work policies to support work-life balance, because majority of the women has the dual burden is being present. One, they also, the working women mainly, they also have the work that's been to be handled, then the household that is to be handled, the child care that is to be handled. No, dual burden is being present with the women. Then, for example, we can say the UK Judicial Appointments Commission uses diversity outreach policies to recruit the underrepresented groups, including the women. Now, this is one case study we can write and one thing we can follow that has been taken from the UK Judicial Appointment Committees. Now, let's see what is the one practice question related to the mains and one related to the prelims. Consider the following statements. There is constitutionally mandated reservation for women in the higher judiciary. Then, women constitute more than 30% of judges in the High Courts of India. Indian Justice Report provides annual data on gender representation in judiciary. Which of the following above statements are being correct? 1, 3 only, 1 and 2 only, and D, 2 and 3 only. Now, please comment the right answer in the comment section. Now, let's also see one mains question regarding this topic, because gender equality, women, we have large amount of importance is being given in the polity, and also there is a scope of asking related question. Philosophical question can also be asked in the mains, and the data that is being present here can also be utilized in writing any of the answer, any of the essay related to the gender inequality. Now, we'll see one of the mains question. Despite growing participation in the women in the legal profession, their representation in the higher judiciary remains abysmally low. Discuss the reasons and suggest measures to improve the gender diversity in judiciary. Now, we can start the answer saying that in the judiciary report, this is the data that has been present, the women participation in India, and next we'll write about the different reasons why there is a low participation and what can be the suggested measures that can be followed to increase the participation. This is what we'll be writing it in the mains. So do try to write this answer in the mains and improve your preparation. Thank you.